Hello, welcome to another episode of Playing Telephone. I'm Scarlett Sanchez.
I'm Dennis Kluba.
How are we doing today?
I'm good. Had a good weekend.
Joshua Tree?
In Joshua Tree. It was restorative. It didn't feel like it was very too crazy of a party. So I was one with nature.
Okay.
How was your weekend?
It was good.
Yeah. Local?
Stayed local. I was in LA. Celebrated Pride on Sunday.
You did.
That was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Went with some friends and went to Pump because obviously that's closing really soon. So had to go there.
Is it
Lisa
closing?
Vanderpump's. Yeah, it's closing next month.
But Sir's open.
Sir, all
And
her other
Tom.
restaurants, yeah. She wants to focus more on her Vegas restaurants. So I
Okay.
think because she's opening that. Apparently they were charging way too much for rent, but maybe it just...
At Pump?
Yeah, at Pump.
And was it fun? I've never been there.
Yeah, I love Pump. It's
And
fun.
it's just going away.
It's going away. Lisa's pulling the plug.
It's unfortunate.
I know.
Okay, well, speaking of
Restaurants in
yeah, that are getting, kind of under the heat. Over the weekend, Taylor Swift canceled their membership, supposedly.
Supposedly. So yeah, Taylor Swift. There's this really exclusive restaurant in New York City. It's called Casa Cipriani, and you have to have a membership. So there's other places like that here at Soho House. They have it also in New York. And celebrities really like to go to these places. Leonardo DiCaprio goes there all the time because it has a strict policy, no phones, no photos, so they can kind of go enjoy themselves. She goes to Zero Bond a lot too, and that's a place that doesn't allow photos, which we never see photos over there. But if you guys all remember, we saw that photo of Taylor Swift and Maddie Healy holding hands, and that video went completely viral, or photo went completely viral on Twitter and everything.
Yeah.
And now Taylor apparently is canceling her membership there now.
With them, as well as what the restaurant or club said, they had already revoked 2 members, I think, memberships,
2.
but then also had 1 on suspension.
Right.
Because I'm sure whomever the people were that, maybe there was a member that brought 2 other people in or something like that, or, they had loose memberships. It's like, hey, that is completely against the policies that we have at this club. My question to you is, especially in your work, how much, though, did they get paid for that photo, do you think? Or do you think they didn't sell it? They just, put it out?
I think if they put it on Twitter, then that we're not going to buy that photo.
Because it's already out there.
It's not going to buy that photo. Right, exactly.
But if you had it and you were withholding it and then you sold it to TMZ, Daily Mail, Page 6,
that could go from 500 plus to maybe a couple thousand, honestly.
But probably not worth your membership at Casa
Probably not.
Cipriani.
Honestly not, because a lot of people that do go there are high up business people. They probably like to go to that place for important business meetings or whatever it might be. I wouldn't really want to.
Also, the monthly or annual membership alone has to be probably so expensive.
I think it's 2,000 plus also.
At least.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But do you think Taylor really even has a membership here? Isn't it better for them?
Cipriani?
Yeah, isn't it better for them, for Taylor Swift and Leo to show up? Do you think she's really paying hey, here's my monthly Spotify subscription to Casa Cipriani? Do you think so?
I think the whole thing is they're paying for the exclusivity.
Okay.
They're paying for this literal thing, and they couldn't deliver that.
Yeah.
And so now they're screwed. And I'd almost be surprised if more people didn't follow her and kind of because you lose your credibility.
Right.
As a restaurant that's claiming that you have privacy or, that exclusivity. It's hey, if you can't hold this together, then I don't know that I can be Leo's well, I can't be there,
All the not 15-year-olds, all the 19-year-old models he's gonna get caught with.
He's what the heck? I thought this was a judgment-free zone, no photos.
Yeah, that's a good point, because then they might not want to go back, and then they're not gonna get that business and the eliteness of their restaurant. But Casa Cipriani did say though that Taylor did not cancel their membership. So
yeah, they're trying to do a little PR coverage of their own.
Yeah, but it's good they got rid of those people, honestly.
Yeah. I think that it was such an interesting thing though, because I get that it was news, but also at the same time, it's just Taylor making a big deal out of things. I feel those things, when she does, it's a big deal to her. And so I just wonder, with that Maddie Healy thing, it makes it so much more to me, if you ask. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's about her image and likeness and how that's like portrayed in the media or being manipulated, right? Or if she was like, if that was really a date spot for her
Yeah.
and she felt betrayed. And then I'm asking more questions of, well, who else has she been there with? You know what I mean? Like now
Yeah.
I'm like, because like if you're that upset about it, I feel like there's some back story there of, hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that's her spot, or
Yeah.
at least one of her top spots that she likes to go to. If it does guarantee that privacy. And also, we talk about Taylor Swift so much about, I don't think this is going to hurt her image and likeness, her canceling her membership. She's fine. She's
Yeah.
got a million other things going on for
Yeah.
her. But I think, yeah, it does kind of ruin the hot date spot that she might like to go to. And she doesn't want to be seen. And since she is so private, we've been talking about how we haven't been seeing her up until she wanted to be seen, you know? So just to have this on top of it, and she's dating this little fling, you know, who knows how serious her and Maddie Healy actually were, but now everybody found out about it. Maybe it wasn't even in the cards for them to publicize their relationship.
well, that's what I'm saying. In that case, because when we saw them together,
Yeah.
right, when it was clearly staged of her walking out of the studio, like, I don't know
Right.
if Backroom was there,
That's
like
true.
whomever, like that was, she wanted to be seen with him leaving the studio, right? But then with this, with her freaking out so much, does it give a little more seriousness to whatever that relationship was?
No, I
No.
think it's more seriousness. Well, personally, I don't think so.
Personally.
I think, I think it's very on brand for Taylor, though, honestly, for her to, if she did actually cancel it, Casa says she didn't, but I could see her totally canceling it if she had it. No, I think it does speak to her importance of privacy.
Yeah.
And I do think that celebrities at her level really appreciate that. And that's a super important thing for them.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think for her, like I said, she does not like to have her narrative told a different way than what it is throughout the media, even though they're going to do it regardless. And I think that place was one of those safe spaces that she felt that she had.
Yeah.
And after that was betrayed, she's like, now we got bad blood. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And Maddie Healy's over here like, I couldn't care less.
Yeah,
like,
he does not care. That's why I think it has everything to do with Taylor Swift. She does not want anybody to know where she goes on her dates. And
Also,
that's it.
if Taylor cancels a restaurant or a club or whatever this is, her fans are probably writing scathing reviews right now.
Probably.
Like their Yelp page has to be turned off immediately.
Or they're like, there's an opening. Can I?
yeah, where else
3
does she
open
hang
spots.
out? Yeah. He probably was a Swiftie.
Yeah.
That's probably who it was.
And that one person who got suspended, they have to reapply for their membership. I feel like they're never getting back in again.
Is it like a Raya situation or what?
I'm sure you have to fill out some extensive application.
Yeah, like
Will not take photos. Sign here.
like I have 7 Academy Award nominations. I have 3.
I wonder if you have to put your salary.
Probably your income, your
Yeah.
yearly income or something.
Yeah. And then
I don't
all my
know.
investments. And
I'll
then
probably apply soon. Even though I don't frequent New York that often, but I feel like it's something, it's more of like the idea that I have a membership.
it's worth the membership.
It's like Equinox.
Even if you go once a year.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't the only thing that was going on this weekend, though.
Yeah.
And this is a funny episode because it's almost like a lot of repeat characters that we haven't
Yeah.
heard from in a while.
Yeah.
And I like getting updates,
Well, we're always hearing from Taylor, but we haven't heard
true.
from Kanye West lately.
which is a good thing normally.
Yeah. Although he has been out and about with him and his wife, Bianca,
Yeah.
in interesting outfits, to say the least. But anyways, most recently he celebrated his 46th birthday at a spot in LA, and Bianca was there, his wife, North, his daughter was there. Other names were Chloe Bailey, Ty Dolla $ign, and Freddie Gibbs. No Kardashians though.
Right. With everything going on that happened, obviously, in the past year with Kanye and getting canceled and everything else, it always slips my damn mind that he's like married. You know, it's like,
I want to see that legal. I want to see the marriage
Documentation.
certificate, though.
Yeah.
Where is it? Why haven't we done that story?
I don't know, but it's like, also I saw those pictures of her,
Actually married
think,
legally?
legally single, legally married.
We know Kim is legally
single,
single.
everyone, on paper. Also, can Kanye really be married if he's married to Kim?
He's not married to Kim.
Did they get what?
That's done.
Are they divorced?
Just so you know, they got divorced.
I didn't know if we were joking about legally single.
Hey,
where have I been?
Welcome to the Pop Culture Podcast. Kanye and Kim are divorced.
But I didn't know if he ever signed.
Kim's dated Pete since. I'm sorry.
I didn't know if he ever signed those papers.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, he
that's
did.
done. Finalized.
Okay, thank you. It's just
I think
dotting
so.
my I's.
Now you're making me doubt myself.
That's what I'm saying. Either way, I saw those pictures, and it's weird how ridiculously close, like, all of his new flings look like Kim.
Yeah.
It's
they
like
really are the little lookalikes.
you have to know that it's like, well, it's not me. I'm like a lookalike. Mm-hmm. Has to be. You have to know that.
Kanye's got a type, I guess. Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yes, she is. What was your take on his daughter? Was it North?
Yes.
Holding hands with
Yeah, they had a little
Bianca.
moment. I don't know. Because if you watch the video versus the photos, yeah, there's some photos of them holding hands. I guess cute. I didn't really feel the love, though.
Hey,
Still early.
Hey.
Still early for stepmommy to come in.
I'm just more like under the
I need this
guise.
to last longer.
Yeah. I'm just more under the guise of like, I felt that in the beginning when things were going so downhill for Kanye, there was such a big like interest on not having him like alone with the kids, and like I felt like Kim was very involved in when they did have visitations and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then to go a little bit 180 of like, oh, his new wife, like stepmom, is just in here.
Yeah. Do you know what just crossed my mind? What if Chris just put Bianca into his life?
Totally possible.
That's what I'm saying.
Chris is controlling Bianca.
Okay, we trust Bianca here. We're gonna go ahead, line this up with you and Kanye.
It's like a syndicate.
And it'll be all good. It'll kind of take the blow off Kim for a while. Don't have to worry. You'll be safe with the kids. She's actually like a nanny.
Yeah, she's an au pair. Yeah. She's taking care of Kanye and North.
And the kids.
Mm-hmm. But that was the only child there, right?
Yeah, in photos. Yeah.
Why is there always such a weird... Like, I feel like lately with the Hollywood parents of the world, we're like missing two kids always. Yeah. It's like, where's so-and-so? Mm-hmm. Where's Saint? Where's, Yeah,
where are they? Yeah, because I feel like I've thought that with Ben Affleck and J-Lo. I feel like you only get half their kids.
At a time.
But then you think, okay, well, they also have Mark Anthony and Jennifer Gardner. Maybe they're with the other parents.
Yeah, they're with one of the other 7 guardians of the galaxy.
But something controversial-ish, I guess, at Kanye's birthday party was he hired women to...
Sure.
Yeah, I don't want to say be plates. I'm trying to... Essentially, there was sushi on the women, and you could grab the sushi from the woman and get your plate. Am I making sense here?
Yes, you're making sense. Basically, on the serving table, it was like the women were also laying on the table, and then they were literally like serving trays. There's really no nice way to put that.
Like, I don't know how else to say you're a plate.
I think that it's one of those things where, and this is going to sound crazy, but this was like, oh, it is Kanye's birthday. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, this seems like things are going too well. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, never mind, we're good.
Get the women on the table.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, that's controversial and not very classy. It's like,
Yeah. There was a lot of mixed reviews, mainly negative though, of course, on the Twitter world.
On the field.
Everyone was like super degrading to women, but then there was the other side of it where everyone was talking about how Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City, there's that famous scene where she's waiting for her boyfriend to come home for Valentine's Day, and she does that all. She does all her sushi and she lays it out. But I was thinking that's a little bit more of an intimate moment where she's doing this like fun activity with her partner versus laying there in the middle of a party just waiting for people to grab the California roll off her boobie.
But I feel like that is like something that we've seen before in like high art scenes.
Yes.
That it's almost like, yes, that is definitely not your normal birthday party. But in that world, I don't know that that's that irregular.
Yeah.
For better or worse, right? Like, I don't think that would be very comfortable for me.
Yeah.
Or obviously the women. But also at the same time, I'm sure that's not the first time that those women have been asked to
do something.
Serve food topless or whatever. So
that was honestly my feelings towards it too.
Yeah. What was your take on? I just thought that it was interesting, like that Ty Dolla $ign, Chloe Bailey, who else? Freddie.
Freddie Gibbs,
like showed up. I kind of thought originally when everything was going on with Kanye that he was a little bit not uncancelable, but almost like people would just like show up.
Yeah.
It was kind of when him, Madonna, Antonio Brown, like Diplo were all hanging out that it was like, oh, people are still just going to show up.
Yeah.
And this in some ways felt like, no offense to the guests that came, kind of a B-list squad that came through. And like I said, I don't know, like who the invites went out to. I didn't check my P.O. box. Like, I don't know.
That was my question. Who got the invite?
Yeah.
Because I think part of it could be Kanye's keeping his little close quarters. He's good. He has his wife. His daughter's there. So maybe he didn't need to invite all of the top people that we're thinking of maybe. Or did he extend the invite? I want to know about the Kardashians. Like, was anybody, maybe not Kim, but usually sometimes they still show up. I mean, they've been showing up for Tristan Thompson. They show up for Travis Scott. They show up for Scott Disick. They show up for all the exes. So I get Kanye's is a more unique situation because of everything they've said he's put them through and obviously everything that's been going on lately, but
I could definitely not see Kim showing up.
I could see like Khloe showing up though.
Well, I was going to say the younger, like Kylie or Kendall, like randomly being there and just being like, oh, night out on the town, happen to be here. Yeah,
stopped by.
Exactly.
Happy birthday, Kanye, bye.
Yeah, and so you're right. It's kind of interesting that, like you said, none of them showed up, and he's been getting the most shunned of the exes. Probably correct, though, considering what he's done. But also, like you said, typically they kind of have some sort of discourse or something, especially when we're talking about Kanye, like over the years, having so much influence, I feel like over the kids' birthdays. Like they always cross paths at some point during that birthday weekend or something, you know?
Right.
And we just didn't see it.
Didn't see it.
But probably for the best, maybe.
Probably for the best. We've seen them at soccer games, Kim and him at soccer games and different things like that, but they never really interact. So keeping their distance for sure.
What is that like?
And that made it extra evident, and with the family.
Yeah. What is that like as a fellow parent? Like, are you like...
I think at that point you're used to it because your kids have probably grown up in their same class.
Yeah. But are you like, oh man, Kanye, like they're playing North at forward today. Like I thought she won. Like I think she's better at wing.
I'd be scared of Kanye like if North got benched.
If I'd be scared of Kim if North got benched.
That's true.
I'm more scared of Chris.
You better work.
Yeah. She's probably putting her through the paces on the edge. Like, hey, nothing's given. Nobody wants to work anymore.
Well, I said how weird it was when they're walking out of the basketball game, all of the paparazzi. So I mean, they have to be used to this a little bit because every time they walk out of a basketball game and Kim's there, all the photos are being taken of the young kids too. I don't know really how that's allowed, but
yeah, I don't know. Let's just move on with controversial figures. Let's keep it up. Like I said, more flashbacks. Oh, I'm really on it today with the small puns.
Little puns. Proud of yourself.
The Flash premiere was this past weekend.
It was on Monday, just last night.
Last night. Ezra Miller makes his first kind of public appearance, comments since everything had went down. I feel like that was almost a year ago.
Everything. So we have to go back a little bit.
Hawaii?
April 2020 actually was the first incident.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that was in Iceland when the video of them choking a woman surfaced. And then they also were arrested twice in Hawaii. And then there was also another arrest in Vermont, a burglary, which they ended up copping a plea deal. So they got it to go down to trespassing instead of burglary.
Wasn't in that one too that it was alleged, or maybe the defense said that Ezra was maybe either on drugs or was having an episode that's kind of why the burglary happened, as opposed to it being, okay, I'm actually trying to burglarize your house. Am I forgetting?
I'm not exactly sure on that, to be honest.
Okay.
But he's been dealing with a ton of controversy, not only with all of the crime, you could say, but also the allegations of grooming. And remember, what was her name? Toyota But these parents came forward and said that Ezra was grooming her, that Ezra had had a likeness towards her and really brought her in. And that was a huge issue for them as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, all of that aside, Ezra ended up going to this premiere. He was definitely, it was a good results. Cheering, everybody was yelling Ezra's name, Ezra, Ezra, Ezra. Photos were being taken, but they didn't answer any questions with reporters. They didn't stop in for any press interviews. But Ezra did make a few words before it all started, before the screening happened, and just mentioned thank you to everyone, thank you to Warner Brothers for standing by me during all of this and for bringing this for what's the word? Fruition. Yeah.
Like you said, another individual that, despite whatever had been going on in the past, kind of held it together for this moment. I'm thinking Kanye, where like it was a moment that was kind of, everything seemed normal.
Right.
Natural.
Well, that's just kind of crazy. I feel like we kind of pick and choose. Who do we want to cancel? Are we going to cancel Kanye? Okay, well, he wasn't really too cancelable. Are we going to cancel Ezra after all of this crime, the grooming? And then you think of someone like Armie Hammer when he was going through all of his allegations.
Just eating people.
Death in the Nile. Everything was, I mean, he got pulled from everything, wasn't allowed to go to the premiere. But then I think it just shows with Warner Brothers really having Ezra's back. They chose to keep him in the spotlight, and that worked out.
Also, why does it feel like it took 10 years to get this Flash movie out? Right?
Did it? I
Well, like, I feel like we were talking about that since April 2020 when this all started, that it was like...
Well, movies take a long time, no?
3 years? These
It's
days?
a Marvel. It's a Marvel.
It's a Marvel. Also, it being... If it's Marvel, then it's Disney, right? Or it's DC, I think. Yeah, you're a big comic book man.
Yeah, I'm not too big on that, but...
Yeah, I think that it was really good that Ezra showed face and, like you said, thanked the studio, the thousands of other people that were behind getting this project out. And once again, like you said, it's so interesting whom media or society chooses to kind of be like, okay, nope.
Yeah.
And in kind of the same vein of the grooming or whatever, I almost think of like they're not even remotely on the same amount of like level of popularity right now. But like Drake Bell was immediately canceled.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Like for the grooming stuff, like it was like, yep, you're done. You're done. Versus Ezra Miller, like any of those, we all saw the videos. They was all terrible. But instead, here we are on the red carpet, right?
On the red carpet and acting as if nothing really happened. But yeah, I think the director, Andy Muschietti, really stood behind Ezra too, because he mentioned that if there is a sequel, he would recast Ezra, and apparently the sequel has already been written. So Ezra's going to be in the next one.
Well, shoot. Let's keep a close eye on Ezra, though, probably. Just for the next 3 years.
Probably. I think they were smart, though, by not allowing press interviews. Because
No
usually
questions.
when you go down the red carpet, there's a, hey, how'd you feel about the film? Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
No questions. Thank you. No questions.
Yeah.
That's how I'm doing it whenever I get to that level. No questions, please. Thank you.
No, you're going to want to. Like, hey, yeah.
Hey, stop and talk. This whole episode is just controversy city. The Idol.
Did you watch episode 2?
I didn't watch episode 2.
Okay.
But there's a lot of things inside of this. Lily Rose Depp, we'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
Lily Rose Depp was seen out with, I'm not entirely sure how to say this.
This is not controversial, but
070 Shake.
Yeah.
Is that how we're pronouncing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Her not girlfriend officially?
No,
her
no,
girlfriend. Okay.
Yes, they're dating.
Yeah.
So I think the most recent thing is they were seen getting very, very handsy
PDA.
after their New York date. Yeah. I think this is definitely confirming that they're together is
Okay.
essentially what the story is. In May, though, they did, Lily posted something. Lily Rose Depp posted on her story a photo of her, and you were right, 070 Shake.
Yeah.
I actually saw her at Coachella.
How was she?
She was great.
I don't even know any songs.
Yeah. She was really good.
Sick. Okay.
Yeah, but in May she posted on her story like 4 months with my crush. So they've been dating for quite some time.
Okay.
Lily Rose Depp was originally, or who did she previously date? Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, there were rumors about that. And then also Austin Butler.
And Austin Butler. Yeah, right before he got together with Kaya Berger.
She was kind of ripping through some big names kind of before they were.
Yeah. And
popular.
then 070 Shake was dating Kehlani before Lily and Rose.
Yeah. I think the only reason I was confused is because previously, I think in an interview or a soundbite, she was like, I don't like identify as like straight or lesbian. She's like, I just like girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, you don't have to identify as anything like what your relationship, preferences are. It's just you like what you like. And
yeah. And that's what Lily Rose Depp has said in an interview too. She said she doesn't identify
straight,
gay,
anything like that.
Yeah.
And also Timothy Chalamet kind of has that girly type thing going on. So maybe like that works too.
Sure, we can.
They look kind of similar. 070 Shake and Timothy Chalamet. If he grew out his hair a little more.
You just don't want Timothy to date Kylie.
That's a whole nother issue. I'm sorry you brought that up. But Lily Rose Depp right now on fire with The Idol.
On fire. See, okay, this is great though.
Am I on a different For You page? Okay.
I definitely think you're on a different For You page because everyone's mortified and absolutely hated the most recent episode, the past 2 episodes, really.
Okay. Keep going. Say what you need to say.
And because that, I don't want to call it gruesome, but that disgusting sex scene between her and The Weeknd, where The Weeknd says some
choice words. Some pretty disgusting, dirty talk. Right?
Nobody wants to hear.
Nobody wants to hear it.
And he probably wrote it.
Here's the deal.
What's he saying in the bedroom?
We just have to ask Bella Hadid.
Oh, I was thinking Selena Gomez.
Or Shalina.
Okay.
Somebody liked it at some point.
Okay,
Bella,
please
Selena.
keep going.
Basically,
go to your For You page.
Basically, episode 1 I actually did watch. Episode 2 I did not watch. Yeah. So I haven't yet seen this terrible, awful scene. And I would like to say that after watching the first episode, I also stated it is very uncomfortable at times. And there is a lot of nudity. Not in a way that you're like, oh, that tastefully added to
the scene or
the plot, etc. So I can no doubt that the second episode was that, if not more, and what it sounds like it was even more uncomfortable. Yeah. Right. Which I totally believe. So I haven't watched it, but I can imagine I'd feel the exact same way. My only thing though is seeing like we're talking about all the controversy that was coming before this aired. And then seeing that the premiere averaged more viewers than White Lotus and Euphoria. I was like, wait a minute. So everyone hates this show. But then it's so gross. What they're gonna say, well, a lot of people watching it.
But don't you think everybody tuned in because
of the controversy?
They want to know, was that Rolling Stones piece true or not? Is it actually as gross? Or they're like, I heard there's going to be a lot of nudity. I'm going to definitely go watch this. I really love The Weeknd. I'm going to go watch this. I really love Sam Levinson. I'm going to go watch this. They had a lot of things winning for them.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's see these numbers
trickle. They could.
They're going to trickle.
For sure.
I think they already did into episode 2.
They did. Active viewers or repeat viewers, whatever they call them, dropped by 100,000.
Unique viewers?
No, it's like by 100,000 of people that are like consistent HBO, like Sunday premiere watchers. That's like what the
I'm laughing.
Stat is.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But then like that's where even the first
like
Sunday.
That person that gets on every Sunday. Okay, tracked.
Succession.
Yeah.
The Idol. But then that's like where it's like Sunday. I don't know if like the amount of people that were actually viewing White Lotus, Game of Thrones, Euphoria, they like are tracking that, but they did it by the week. So that's where I want to see the end of this week too.
Yeah.
See how many people tuned in later. Because it's like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Like maybe
we don't
more
always
people
watch the
on
second
the day.
It airs. Yeah.
But like we said before, is bad publicity always bad?
No. It's
so
not.
Them stirring all this stuff up. Also, I didn't realize they got a 5-minute standing ovation at the con. I'm just saying, there's this world where there's some people that are hating it.
Yeah.
That's definitely an opinion that I can completely get behind. I think for some weird reason, there's another world of people that are like, oh my gosh, such a good representation of a leading woman trying to figure it out in Hollywood or sexualizing, etc.
I think a lot of people aren't liking it too, though, because of how bad The Weeknd's acting is.
Okay, I really only saw him, like I said, for
which I guess we'll see more and more. But give him a chance.
They just don't want to give him a chance. The thing is, he's so gross in it.
But that's his character.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think people are getting confused with
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
And that's what I'm saying. In it, I don't like him. He gives me the creeps in it, but that's his character. That's his role.
That means he's doing
it well.
Yeah.
So are you a fan? What are you changing?
I have to actually watch it to give my true, honest opinion.
You'd hate it.
But I know I probably will not like it.
Yeah.
So I'm saving myself.
She would hate it.
She would hate it. Okay, well then you're not really convincing me.
I think you should watch episode 1.
Yeah.
But then I think like you'll just be like, yeah, I do not need to see that much of Lily Rose Depp's body ever again.
Yeah. When I was coming home from work, I thought about putting on episode 2 just for the sex scene. But I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Well, that's one that you definitely, I think you should watch during daytime. If you watch during nighttime, you won't be able to sleep, I feel like.
Oh, gosh.
It's kind of like Game of Thrones, I'm sure. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
But I'm just guessing. I wouldn't feel comfortable after that.
Game of Thrones made me uncomfortable in many, many scenes. But I don't know if I'm in the majority of that, though.
On Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm. I think the most horrific scene in, what's the other one? House of Dragon. Was when she gave birth.
Oh, right.
Do you remember that scene? When she gave birth and
I kind of blacked out during.
And the king was like,
all right,
who do we choose?
Let's murder.
I'm obviously going to murder my wife.
Yeah.
Keep the
I remember
baby.
that.
Oh,
it wasn't the foot fetish guy?
I don't know who that is.
He's like, he was always asking the.
House of Dragon?
Yeah, House of Dragons. You don't remember the foot guy?
No.
He's a big foot guy in there.
Okay, well, he really stood up to you.
It freaked me out. Either way, I'll watch episode 2 to give my full actual recap.
Okay.
So then we can actually know how bad it is.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if the numbers keep coming in, HBO Max is going to say, or Max.
Oh, I think it's gonna keep going.
That's what I'm saying. I think like Sam Levinson's going to come out and be like, it's another hit. Sorry.
And he's an interesting one too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of scenes got overlooked by Euphoria too.
Never saw it.
Oh
I know.
my gosh.
We come across this every time.
Every time we talk about Euphoria. But I think it's because it's so well done that a lot of people just like looked over certain scenes. But yeah, I'm going to have to watch a little bit of The Idol. And you need to binge Euphoria.
Okay, let me get some free time.
Okay. Okay.
Last but not least, actually, is it good news, happy news, sad news?
Kind of. I think it's kind of sad.
Do we know the reasoning behind this, or we just...
I mean, okay, Pat Sajak is retiring. He announced that he's going to leave Wheel of Fortune after 41 seasons. Like 40 years on the show.
Yeah.
Obviously with Vanna White as his co-host. But yeah, on Monday...
She's not still there, is she?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm like my grandpa would watch this show.
Yeah.
He's been around for so long. But yeah, he announced that he's going to be stepping away, retiring, and that's it.
Sailing off into the sunset.
I think more people, obviously it's sad because I think he's been such a staple for that show.
Yeah.
Huge game show host and everything. But everyone's wondering who's going to replace him.
Yeah, I feel like that there's a tough time doing that. It kind of makes me think of like after Bob Barker left Price is Right, kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I just think, why didn't we go out on 40? 41.
41 seasons. Well, because it's like 40 years, but 41 seasons. So maybe he was thinking the 40th year.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, like, or maybe it coincided with the birthday of his. Like he turned. Now he's 65 and you're 70, and he's like, all right, whatever. I don't see age.
The only person that I did see rumors was Ryan Seacrest, but
if there's anybody that's too busy, it's Ryan Seacrest.
He just left though, live with
Ryan and Kelly. Because he's like, I'm too
I
busy
go
and
to
Kelly.
Wheel of Fortune. No, he's too busy with his wine or his olive oil business.
Oh yeah, he's got a boo too.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like that's a little bit. Is that not still? He still feels pretty hip.
Ryan Seacrest?
Yeah, like he's still in things that like have.
Are you saying it's a downgrade to go to Wheel of Fortune?
I feel like that's like in
Tread lightly.
the like. This was a legend. Now they're Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak made that show legendary, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would argue that. But now, like, you don't want to be in your prime going to Wheel of Fortune. No.
I just think he has too many other projects.
That are more important than
I think
Wheel
they're
of
probably
Fortune?
going to bring on someone a little bit younger.
Younger?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Who do you think they're going to bring on?
I mean, I think somebody younger, but I think somebody that's 50.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't trust
I'm
me.
not thinking 20s or 30s, but yeah.
Okay. 50, I think, works. I can never tell how old Ryan Seacrest is, so that's part of the problem.
I really don't know either.
He's maybe in his 40s, but it seems like he's like
Late
30
40s,
always.
right?
It always seems like he's 30.
He looks great.
He looks great. But maybe like dang, I wanted to say somebody that's totally canceled. They can't bring him back, but I was like kind of like a Matt Lauer-ish, but that's like I said, totally canceled. So no, can't do that. But you know what I mean? Like that type of character.
Maybe Ezra Miller.
Kanye.
We gotta cut it.
That wraps up the speculation on who could be the next potential host of Wheel of Fortune. Put your name in the hat if you're canceled right now.
Yeah.
Armie Hammer.
That is Sanchez. All right.
Right in there. I think that wraps it up for this week's episode of Playing Telephone.
Yes. Don't
Make sure
forget to follow us at Playing Telephone on Instagram and TikTok. And also, full episodes are on YouTube now.
Yeah. All right. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. I was literally about